What up gamers, I'm Sir Mav and welcome back to another Anthem video. I had to get one more in before I moved just to show off some amazing builds we could see and start working towards once the full game launches here next week. I hope each of you had a chance to hop into the open demo this past weekend and get a feel for exactly what's in store for us in this mysterious world. I had a lot of fun with each javelin this past weekend, but one in particular won me over with its playstyle and assortment of abilities. Today, we're going to discuss two builds for the Storm Javelin in Anthem. These two builds in particular I'm dubbing as Thors Hammer due to its impactful lightning strike while in combat, and the Frost King as the loadout is geared around ice abilities. But before we start, there's still time to enter the channel giveaway for this month where 3 lucky winners have a chance to get a free copy of Anthem just before launch. And I commend you to check your emails on February 15th as I will be contacting the winners via email in the early morning. Good luck to each of you who enter. If you want more loadouts on the javelins in Anthem, be sure to tap fire subscribe and keep it locked here at iGame for more content on Anthem. So these two builds I'm about to showcase here are what I call shield busters. As we know, lightning and ice are super effective against shield enemies in Anthem, so these will be viable builds when taking down the likes of hunters or scouts in the Scar faction. Given these two loadouts are designed to take down shields very quickly, this allows you to either incapacitate your enemies by freezing them or open the window for your squad mates to take them out. So without further ado, first up, let's start with what I call Thors Hammer. Within the first ability slot of this loadout, we have Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike is a detonator ability that hits enemies hard with a Zeus-like bolt from the sky, especially shielded enemies. Now the inscriptions don't matter too much here as most will have name changes in the full game, but remember that these inscriptions stack for the entirety of your build and are not just designated for the ability or weapon they are showcased on. So having a faster recharge rate and additional damage to all abilities will only further the power of this build in combat. Along with Lightning Strike, I've equipped the Frost Shards as its partner in crime for this build. Frost Shards is a Storm's priming ability. Although this ability doesn't do a ton of damage to targets, it is a perfect setup for taking down enemies because it has virtually no cooldown to it. With these two abilities equipped, you can easily take on turrets and shielded enemies of the Tyrant Mine stronghold. With any shielded enemies you come upon, you'll want to hit them with the Lightning Strike first to obliterate their shield, and then come in with the Frost Shards to freeze them in place so either you or a squad mate can take them down with ease. It's opposite though if your enemies have no shield. You'll use the Frost Shards first to freeze them and then come in with a Lightning Strike to combo them for additional damage. If you happen to have a lot of enemies nearby close to the Storm's combo effect ability, then it will spread the ice status effect and freeze them in place, giving you and your team time to clear out the rest of the mobs. Next we have the weapons of this loadout. Weapon choice really depends on your playstyle or what you're going up against. In this build I equipped the Sledgehammer, which is a great hard-hitting LMG, and the other you will want to have equipped is the Devastator Sniper Rifle. You may or may not have seen this weapon in other videos, but this is the most powerful weapon we saw in the Anthem demo, at least on a one-shot basis. With the right inscriptions equipped, this gun will be a beast at endgame. Its weakness though is that it does have limited ammo, but that's nothing taking down a couple mob enemies can't fix. Next up we have the support ability. I generally kind of lean towards the wind wall with the Storm as it allows for additional cover so you can focus on other targets. The last part of this loadout is components. So with any build in Anthem, you're likely going to want to lean towards specific javelin components. These types of components are geared specifically towards a certain javelin and can increase the power of your abilities. In this case, I geared my Storm with 2 lightning inscription components as each of these added 10 additional base damage to the Lightning Strike ability, allowing me to stack even more damage against unlucky targets. So whatever you're building here in Anthem, be on the lookout for these specific javelin components to further enhance your build. Also, don't forget that the Storm's melee ability is a detonator as well. This is useful against Scar hunters or scouts as you can take down their shield, freeze them, and then detonate them with a fireball to the face. The last Storm loadout I wanted to showcase real quick is what I'm calling the Frost King. Now this loadout works very similar to Thors Hammer except the primer and detonator buttons are switched. The first ability equipped is the Ice Storm. This is our primer for this build. Much slower cooldown than the Frost Shards, but hits harder and can impact an area of enemies instead of just one. In the next ability slot you'll have the Glacial Spear. Don't let the mediocre damage on the screen fool you. This ability hits like a truck in a blizzard storm when fully charged. The way these two abilities work together depends on your enemy. If they have a shield, then you hit them with the Glacial Spear first. If not, then you'll come in with the Ice Storm to freeze them and then combo with the Glacial Spear. Once we can get to endgame and stack recharge rate inscriptions to this build, then we'll have an insanely powerful Ice God on our hands. The weapons are fairly similar to Thors Hammer in this build. Always bring the Devastator for obvious reasons. Wind Wall on support for added protection when needed, and Ice Inscription components to boost the damage you inflict on enemies with your Frost abilities. And this is just a glimmer of the possibilities we can create with the Storm and Anthem. These builds only showcase mid-tier damage without full inscription stacks of recharge rate or damage, so possibilities only get better from here. There is also likely properties that will allow us to spam these two abilities, so it is still unknown exactly how crazy and powerful we can get within these builds. But I'm excited to see what's in store for us when the full game launches in early access next week, and I'll definitely have an update on these two once I reach endgame. So what builds did you have fun with this past week in the demo? Any ability combinations with the javelin that really made you feel powerful? Let me know down in the comments below. With that, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more loadouts on Anthem here at iGame. Be sure to tap fire that bell so you're notified when the next video drops. Until next time, gamers, this is Sir Mav, signing off.